Hello again. This is Kyle Kapitsky at Harbor Investments. In this video, we'll be going over the liquidation form. In a previous video on the advisory disclosure form, I hinted at there being three forms whenever moving money or an investment to another investment. This is the second of those forms. The first was the advisory disclosure form. The second is the liquidation form. This form will be used primarily in the commission-based side. Whenever you're moving from a mutual fund directly held or a variable annuity directly held, say American Funds to Franklin Templeton, or a nationwide annuity to Jackson Annuity. This form will also be used in the advisory space whenever you're moving from a variable annuity to an advisory account. That is the only time it's used in the advisory space, whenever you're moving to an advisory account. Getting into it here, at the very top, you'll have the client name and the amount that's being liquidated or transferred over. You'll have the investment name, and that can simply be American Funds or Jackson, National, whatever you want to call it there. And then the investment type, whether it's a non-qualified or an IRA or Roth IRA. Down below, we give the advisor reasons, or we give them space to explain why we're liquidating this investment, why this investment is no longer a good financial fit for the client. The SEC and FINRA need to have good documentation, detailed notes, and they say that if it's not on paper, it didn't happen. So we want to make sure that we're defending our arguments as far as why an investment is no longer a good or suitable fit for a client. So make sure that good reasonings are there. Performance cannot be put in there. It's not because past performance does not guarantee future results. But moving on, we'll have years held. How long was that particular investment held, and the cost basis. And then if there's any liquidation fees or surrender charges associated with leaving that particular account, that needs to be taken into account. Down below here is the three sections. You either fill out 1, 2, or 3. If it's coming from a direct mutual fund, you'd fill this out. Say from American Funds or Franklin Templeton, you'd fill this section out. If it's coming from a managed account, an advisory account, you'd fill this out. It could be TD Ameritrade, Schwab, you name it. Put the firm name in there and then the fees associated. And in section 3, if it's coming from an annuity or life insurance product, give me a call. This particular grid here is pretty complex and confusing to some, and it still confuses a lot of our advisors, even though they've been doing it for years. Give me a call. Give any other principal here a call that will be able to help you and direct you to how to fill this particular section out. It is confusing and too confusing to go through in a 3-minute video. So below that, you'll have the client signature and date, the rep signature and date, and then our approval field. And this is the liquidation form.